Day, everyone. My name is Jill, and I would like to welcome you to today's Datawiz webinar, Where Retailers Lose Profit in 2026, How Data Makes It Visible. Today, I am joined by Elena from Datawiz and Vitaly of NielsenIQ, who will be leading today's discussion. On this webinar, we will explore how retail teams identify margin leaks, inventory issues, assortment opportunities, and store levels inefficiencies using real retail analytic workflows. To help with this discussion, we have brought in an expert from NielsenIQ, Vitaly, who will help us explore the growing role of analytics in retail decision-making through a review of retail market trends in Canada. He will review changing consumer behavior, inflation and margin pressure, inventory challenges, operational inefficiency, and data monetization. Now, before I turn the microphone over to Elena, I want to draw your attention to the chat and the Q&A feature in Zoom. We are eager to hear from you, and we will be monitoring both the chat and the Q&A area throughout the session. So please feel free to enter any comments or questions there. Now let's kick this off with a little chat interaction. I'd love to know where you're joining us from. I'll start by saying hello from New York. So please take a moment to type in the chat where you are joining from. And while you're doing that, I'm going to hand the microphone over to Elena. Elena, go ahead and kick us off.
Thank you, Jillian. Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Elena, and I'm a business development manager at Datawiz. Today's topic is one that affects every retailer, regardless of size or format. Despite having more data than even before, retailers continue to lose profit through opportunities and risks that often remain invisible until it's too late. Today, we'll explore where those profit leaks occur and how data can help identify them before they impact your businesses. Before we begin, let me briefly introduce today's speakers and hosts. So joining us today is Vitaly, Global Business Effectiveness Leader at NielsenIQ. Vitaly brings nearly 2 decades of experience helping retailers improve commercial effectiveness, operational performance, and market competitiveness. We are also joined by Jillian, who will be moderating today's session, managing the polls and Q&A, and helping ensure everything runs smoothly throughout the webinar. Now that we have introduced today's speakers, let me spend a minute introducing Datawiz and ecosystem behind the analytics you'll see later in the demonstration. For more than 13 years, Datawiz has been helping retailers transform operational data into practical business decisions. Today, our solutions are used by more than 120 retail chains across 31 countries. And we are proud to partner with organizations such as NielsenIQ and the Retail Council of Canada. What makes our approach different is that we don't look at retail challenges in isolation. Datawiz BI helps retailers identify opportunities and risks hidden within their data. Planner Hero automates merchandising and planogram execution across store networks. Vizora uses conversational AI to help teams quickly understand complex business metrics and identify actions worth taking. Our data monetization platform enables retailers to create additional value from their data by collaborating with suppliers. And our mobile application gives managers real-time visibility into key retail KPIs wherever they are. Today, we are focused primarily on Datawiz BI because visibility is where every profitable decision begins. Before we dive into the Canadian retail landscape and hear NielsenIQ's perspective, we'd love to learn a little more about the challenges you are facing today. So let's start with a quick poll. The question is, what is currently the single biggest threat to your retail margins? So we see here several options to answer. Please take a moment to select the option that best reflects your organization is experiencing today. We'll give everyone a few seconds to vote. I can see the responses coming in. A few more seconds for everyone who hasn't voted yet. So let's take a look at the result. Great. So what is fascinating is that regardless on which answer wins, every one of these challenges becomes significantly more expensive when retailers don't identify it early enough. Now, let's zoom out and look at what's happening across the Canadian retail landscape. So, I'd like to hand things over to Vitaly from NielsenIQ. Vitaly, welcome. The floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Olena, for passing the word. In my part, I would be pleased to introduce you the key global and Canadian market trends, shopper concerns, main shopper strategies, margin pressure elements, and key retailers' priorities and challenges. And what is more important, to introduce you how retailers are acting to win and to get a continuous growth despite all the challenges doing daily digital transformation. So we will start with IMF insights, comparing again a global economy versus Canadian market, and what we can observe here. Generally, we see that Canada's GDP growth has tracked below global average, but what's good, it has demonstrated greater stability. Forecast is saying that Canadian market will continue to grow, and this growth will be 1.7, 1.9% each year, what is very good. From other side, again, I would like here to put your attention on the right side of this slide, saying about huge list of shoppers who said that are really worried and impacted by geopolitical conflicts. Let's talk about inflation and what we see here. Canada had a faster return after inflation shock happened in 2022. But generally, inflation rate is almost in 2 times slower versus global average. But like what you see in 2026, it's planned higher versus 2025 because another challenges what happened to globe, you know this very well. From other side, it will slow down and it will be lower, around 2%, as we see in forecast. What about shoppers and global shoppers? You see consumers, they claimed that their financial position became worse versus previous year. So they affected. So if we go from general economy to FMCG categories only, so we can review only FMCG categories development using NIQ quarter by number research on the next slide. And it's saying that globally, FMCG is growing. Sales are growing by 2.9% for MIT this year versus same period last year. Is it driven by volume growth? No. It's driven by inflation, by price increase, 2.7%. And from the right side, if you review the trendy data is demonstrating us that the global volume rebounded in Q1 after 2 quarters where we had volume decrease. So let's see what is happening in North America. What FMCG are demonstrating again like here. The growth is happening, but as you see in North America, FMCG categories are demonstrating sales growth almost in 2 times slower versus global average. And it's not driven by volume increase. We see the volume decrease. It's driven by price increase. And in Q1, as you see, it's still demonstrating again like the negative volume change. What about Canada? You see here that in Canada is demonstrating much stronger growth versus North America, almost in 2 times, and much stronger growth versus global average. It's 3.6%. What's also good, volume is growing. A little bit, it's almost stable, but still it's growing. And price increase is 3.3%. If remember from the beginning, inflation rate planned for 2026, it's 2.5%. So inflation in FMCG is higher. But what's important in Q1, you see it is exceptional quarter because before we hadn't observed volume decrease. In Q1 2026, it happened. So if we take a look, what type of stores shoppers prefer, because shoppers are visiting different type of stores. And if you see again, like, what is quite similar for Globe, for North America, and for Canada, the discounters are growing faster versus other offline channels. 4.3% Globe, 5.1% in North America, 5.4% in Canada. But e-commerce is the fastest growing channel at Globe, above 15%. So it's incremental obstacle what is impacting on retailers. So if we check again, like what shoppers are doing, how shoppers react on it, they react. You see that they have concerns, and the top concerns that setting the spending tone are increasing food prices. 29% of shoppers are saying about this. 23% of shoppers are saying that again, like their top concern is global conflicts, war, and 20% are saying about economic downturn. What shoppers are doing again, like do they have any strategy again, like to mitigate those risks? Yes, they have. And you see that top consumer saving strategies are switch to lower priced option, shop more at discount or low priced stores. 31% of shoppers are doing this. And 30% of shoppers are saying that we buy whatever brand is on promotion. So let's see again, like what they're doing again, like private labels, brands, or price. What is more important? And we see that private label at Globe is growing by 3.7%, while promotional sales are growing by 4.2%. It's orange bar from the right side. And Canada is quite again like different versus global average and versus North America. If you see the light bars from the right side, the promo sales share from total sales of FMCG in Canada is extremely high, 49% versus 37 in North America and 30.8 in a globe in average. What retailers are doing? Retailers also are developing, and the pace of change is accelerating rapidly. If for the last 80 years, again, like almost our retailers were only offline, then around 10 years we had offline and online, then we came to omni-channel, and now we have omni-channel, social commerce, yeah, we have also AI assistants, ChatGPT, so everything is changing again, like faster. So faster actions, more pressure, more changes. So generally, retailers again, like like to summarize, have a lot of challenges. Conflicts, inflation. Like we have worse financial position of shoppers. Beyond this, again, like retailers are faced with bigger competition through AI assistance, again, like social commerce, again, like e-commerce. From other side, retailers mostly competing also with the big retailers, because especially when we are talking about SMB retailers. From other side, again, like there are other challenges like limited visibility and data fragmentation, inventory inefficiency, customer loyalty erosion, limited IT sources, and all those obstacles are impacting on growth and on performance. So what can support to retailers to win despite all these obstacles? First of all, data. We are working globally with more than 11,000 retailers as an organization, and 98% of our retailers partners claim that again, like data and insights are very important in making actionable steps and decisions. And what's important, it's cover almost everything, but especially it's valid for consumer behavior, channel distribution, market share insights. Data is crucial. So despite all these challenges, retailers still have priorities. And generally, we can divide all those priorities in three big blocks. Retailers still would like to grow sales and basket size. Retailers are focused again, like to cut the losses, especially due to zero stocks, overstocks, unsellable products, to optimize assortment because everything is changing. Again, like especially working in FMCG, you always should be mobilized and open for the changes. Promotional effectiveness. You see that in Canada, it's extremely important because I would like to repeat that 49%, this is a share of total promo sales from total sales are happening in the market. It's huge. It's much higher versus North America. And loyalty effectiveness, because of erosion, I need something to be more connected with my shopper, to impact on their frequency of visit and basket size. From other side, again, like retailers have also merchandising effectiveness to stop losing, again, like from the lost sales on the shelf, to automate process and to use the technology and to monetize the data. And as you see here on this screen, AI also is entering, and technology can assist again, to win all those challenges and to be more efficient, to grow using web, mobile applications, chatbots, again, and AI. And a lot of retailers globally already are doing incredible things with it. For example, you can see in this screen that Aras in Azerbaijan, it's a European market, they launched AI-powered supply collaboration platform. So what their suppliers are getting, imagine they're getting daily insights with alerts, with AI recommendation and generated business advices to perform better. Walmart, like they launched again, like shopping through Google Gemini, like that customers, they can ask Gemini what they need, healthy breakfast, whatever, and AI creates again, like a shopping basket automatically, reducing search efforts and giving an opportunity to pay for the order exactly there, not exiting the platform. CVS Pharmacy is a huge pharmacy with more than 9,000 stores, and Kroger, they launched digital shelves and retail media. So these digital displays are unique because on the shelf and cups, they show dynamic pricing, like individual promotions, targeted advertisement that can change instantly. Amazon, AI shopping assistant, very close what Walmart is doing, but their AI helps also customers discover products, compare options, predict future purchases, and all this. Target in US, they also used AI-powered assortment optimization. Imagine more than 3,000 products were already there, were listed using AI only. AI doing analysis, again, of demand, local shopper behavior to decide which product should be stocked in every single store. Coty is another great example of, like non-food retailer. It's like manufacturer, but they opened the store in Hong Kong, AI-enabled concept beauty store in Hong Kong, where, like uses AI for personalized, again, suggestion for the perfumes, and they have AI consultations and a lot of innovations packed in this single store as a first beginning, again, like a new normal for this concept and for this brand. Delist, they launched also powerful retail media platform. Again, like brands can buy highly targeted advertising using retail first-party shopper data across websites, stores, search channels. Again, like to combine all those insights and to make again like individual recommendations and offers again like to win the shoppers. Because while it is not higher, it's not bigger. I need again like to win the share. This is my again like my way to win. And I would like again like to finish with Ultra Beauty and John Levis, who again like opened again like a social commerce TikTok shops. Having a clear target audience, again like they allow to customers to discover products on social media and purchase directly there without leaving the platform. Yeah, and it shows again like good results for them. This is also differentiation, but again like powered by AI. So for now, I'd like to pass my word to Elena to continue with the second poll, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Vitaly. What I find particularly interesting is that none of the challenges we discussed today are new. Retailers have been dealing with inflation, inventory pressure, assortment complexity, and changing customer behavior for years. What's changed is the speed. Problems develop faster, margins disappear faster, and competitors react faster. Which means that today the biggest advantage isn't having more data. It's identifying opportunities and risks before everyone else does. Before we move to market insights to practical retail examples, we'd like to ask one more question. So here we have the poll number 2. The question is, how much time does your team usually spend identifying a major margin leak or inventory issue? So please take your time. I'd be curious to see how quickly organizations move from data to action. We will wait just a few more seconds. Let's then close the poll and take a look at the results, if you are ready. Okay, so what's interesting that we have only one answer, and it is also remain like a story. So regardless of where your organization sits today, one thing remains true. The faster you identify a problem, the more options you have to solve it. And that's exactly where business intelligence creates value. So during the NielsenIQ presentation, we looked at the broader market realities shaping retail performance in Canada. Now, let's shift from market trends to practical execution, because visibility alone doesn't improve margins. Action does. Every retailer already has data. Sales data, inventory data, loyalty data, promotion data. The challenge is turning that information into decisions that improve business outcomes. In the next few minutes, I'd like to show 5 common areas where retailers typically lose profit and how analytics can help uncover opportunities that often remain hidden inside daily operations. So let's start with customer loyalty. Many retailers have invested heavily in loyalty programs, hundreds of thousands of customers' profiles, years of transactions history, yet many campaigns are still sent to everyone. The same offer, the same audience, and the same communication cost. The result is that retailers spend more communicating with customers who were never likely to respond in the first place. The opportunity is not collecting more customer data. The opportunity is understanding which customers are actually ready to buy. The second area is assortment management. Retailers are usually very good at saying yes to a new SKU. Saying goodbye is often much harder. Over time, assortments became larger, shelves become crowded, and working capital gets locked in slow-moving inventory. The challenge is identifying which products deserve more space, which require attention, and which should potentially be delisted. Without clear ranking and prioritization, those decisions often take weeks. Another common source is like a source of loss is inventory and simply stops moving. The invoice has already been paid. The products are sitting in the store, and sometimes the next delivery is already on the way. The longer these products remain unnoticed, the more working capital becomes trapped. The key is identifying these situations early enough to act. The opposite side is the inventory challenge of out of stock. A product sells faster than expected. Nobody noticed immediately. The shelf becomes empty. Customers either postpone the purchase or switch brands. By the time the issue appears in a weekly report, the lost sales have already happened. This is why predictive inventory monitoring is becoming increasingly important. And finally, basket analysis. Most retailers know what customers buy. Far fewer know what customers buy together. Cross-selling campaigns, secondary placement, and promotional bundles are often based on assumptions rather than evidence. But every receipt contains valuable information about purchasing behavior. Understanding those relationships can substantially increase basket value without increasing customer traffic. We have just looked at 5 of the most common profit leaks retailers face. Now I'd like to show you how these opportunities can be identified inside Datawiz BI in just few clicks. So during today's demonstration, we'll focus on 3 practical scenarios: assortment optimization, like overstock detection, and loyalty analysis by RFM analysis. These are three areas where retailers typically achieve the fastest measurable results. So let's jump into the platform. I will switch between the screens. So okay, so I hope my screen is visible. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about our BI. So here is the main page, which shows us a lot of different kind of statistics for the moment. And I would like to start with a product that consume capital without creating value. So what do we need here? It's like open product sales report. Let's imagine that you are responsible for even more that you are responsible for like 25,000 SKUs. And if you are responsible for even more than that, don't panic. You are among friends today. So let's start with the assortment optimization. One of the most common questions category managers face is which products deserve more shelf space and which products are simply consuming inventory and working capital without generating enough value. To answer that, we will try to perform an ABC and XYZ analysis. So first we'll open like the product sales report, then we will select the category in our filters. So let it be the baby products. And then we can start. So we have baby products, and then we can build like ABC and XY that matrix. We will use profit for the ABC analysis, sales stability for the XY that analysis. So for now, we will select A for profit and Z and X for group AX group. We'll apply, and these are the strongest products that generate the highest profit and demonstrate stable demands. So it is the list of them. In other words, these are the products that help sustain category performance. For us, this is a clear signal. So maintain availability, protect shelf space, and avoid unnecessary reductions in purchasing volume. We can also add in our columns GMROI and rank products based on inventory efficiency. So as you can see, this helps us identify products that not only generate profit, but also use working capital effectively. Now let's look at the opposite side of the matrix. We will filter like see that group. So because this group represents product with the lowest contribution and the least stable demand. These are often the products that stay on the shelf for too long, generate little revenue, occupy valuable space, tie up working capital. And this is where assortment optimizations begin. So we can find our in filter. I have see that and apply. And we also can see like the products, so we can export these products in Excel and review them with the category team. If you can see, so we also can save an Excel file. From these several actions that we can work with this product, so we have different options. We can delist products completely, relocate it to a different store format, support with the promotion, reduce future purchasing volumes. The key point is that instead of relying on intuition, category managers can make decisions based on measurable performance. And that's exactly what analytics should do. Turn data into actions. About case 2. Inventory you are already paid for, but still can't sell. I would like to open like the report for products for the list. We will reset all filters. And let's move to another very common profit leak, yes? So inventory that nobody notices. Product that occupy shelf space, freeze working capital, generate little or no value. I would like to apply filters. So we will look for the products that inventory is above 100 items, units, limited sales, low profitability, and significant days without movement. Now let's open specific examples and categories. So let's focus on categories where inventory management is especially critical. We will take dairy, fresh, and grocery. And in view second, we have the list of those products. So I'd like to draw your attention on pork item. Here we can see that sales are extremely low while inventory levels remain relatively high. And at first glance, this already looks suspicious, but let's investigate further. When we open stocks, at the end of the day, there is the most useful feature in this report. It is the ability to drill into inventory dynamics. When we open stocks at the end of the day, we can see that inventory continues to grow over time. This may indicate that despite weak sales performance, replenishment is still taking place. In other words, we are continuing to order products that customers are not buying. Now, let's add additional metrics. So we will choose days with zero sales and also the payment deferral period. So we see it here. And now we can compare these indicators side by side. For example, for our milk, we see that number of days with zero sales is actually higher than the supplier payment deferral period, which means that we are likely already paid for this product before it was sold. This is one of the clearest signals of working capital being trapped in inventory. And this is exactly how profit leaks occur. Now, though over dramatic event, but through hundreds of small replenishment decisions that accumulate over time. For category managers, this becomes an early warning signal. It allows them to review replenishment settings, reduce future orders, launch corrective promotions, redistribute stock, or remove the products from the assortment entirely before losses continues to accumulate. And again, data doesn't increase profit. Better decisions do. So far, we have focused on products. Let's now shift our attentions on customers, because sometimes the biggest growth opportunities aren't hidden in inventory at all. They are hidden inside customer behavior. Let's look at one example. That's why Datawiz BI includes a dedicated set of customer analytics reports designed to help retailers better understand customer behavior, monitor loyalty program performance, and create more targeted marketing campaigns. Let's take a look on a few examples. So I would like to go to my marketing, and here we have the loyalty dashboard. This report provides a high-level overview of loyalty program performance and customer trends. Here we can monitor total number of loyalty members, growth of decline of the loyalty base, average basket value, visit frequency, conversion indicators. This allows marketing teams to quickly understand whether customer engagement is improving or declining over time. Also, we will open here the new customers funnel, another useful report. So here we can analyze newly acquired customers based on the number of purchases they have made. For example, customers who made only one purchase, customers who turned for a second visit or became regular shoppers. At any stage, we can drill down into the customer list here export the number of these loyalty cards and hand them over the marketing team for targeted communication. This helps retailers improve customer retention and accelerate customer activation. But one of the most powerful reports for customers' retention is RFM analysis. So RFM stands for recency, how recently the customer visited, frequency, how often they shop, and monetary value, how much they spent. Using these three dimensions, the system automatically groups customers based on their purchasing behavior. This helps retailers quickly identify their most valuable customers, loyal customers, new customers, and customers at risk of churn. Let's look at one example. So, suppose we want to identify customers who used to shop frequently and spend significant amount of money, but haven't visited us recently. So instead of manually searching through thousands of transactions, we simply click on segment 311. So here it is. It's like more than 800 customers here. And immediately we see the list of loyalty card IDs that belongs to the group. We can export this audience also and share it directly with the marketing team. From there, they can launch a personalized campaign designed specifically to win these customers back. Because not every customer deserves the same communication and not every customer has the same value. One of the most important principles in retail marketing is that retaining an existing customer is significantly less expensive than acquiring a new one. That's why customers analytics is not only a marketing tool, it's also a sales growth tool. We often talk about increasing sales. Sometimes the fastest way to do that isn't finding new customers, is bringing back the best customers you already had. And that's exactly what data-driven customers engagement helps to achieve. Before we turn to the presentation, I'd like to show one also final example. Everything we have looked at so far has been based on the pre-built reports and best practice analytics scenarios. But BI, it's not limited to standard reports. Any data available in the system can transform into custom dashboards and visualizations based on the needs of your business. For example, we can look for supplier analytics dashboard. This dashboard helps retailers understand the contribution of each supplier to overall business performance. So supplier share sales, revenue contribution, profit contribution. This allows commercial teams to evaluate supplier effectiveness using objective data rather than assumptions. And perhaps even more importantly, it providing retailers with stronger argument during supplier negotiations. Another important advantage is that these dashboards also can be shared with any from your team. So if the dashboard is relevant for the category manager, commercial team, marketing specialist, or senior manager, you simply can add their email address and grant access. This ensures that every stakeholder works with the same data, the same KPIs, and the same version of the truth. And supplier analytics is just one example. The same approach can be applied to categories, stores, regions, customers, promotions, inventory, pricing, so any of business processes. The goal is simple. Give every department access to the information they need in format that helps them make better decisions faster. That concludes the demonstration portion for today's webinar. Hopefully these examples show that the challenge isn't collecting more data. The challenge is identifying opportunities quickly enough and to act on them. The main idea is making better decisions faster. Let me switch back to the presentation and summarize business impact retailers typically achieve when these processes become data-driven. So I will share again the presentation. I became the professional in switching, I think. Okay, great. So the examples we have seen today are not theoretical use cases. They are practical workflows that help retailers improve profitability every day. Whether it's reducing loyalty communication costs through better customer segmentation, accelerating assortment decisions with ABC and XYZ analysis, or identifying overstock, it becomes a financial problem. The goal remains the same: turning data into faster and better business decisions. So, Jillian, let's move into the Q&A session. I think we will give everyone a moment to submit any questions through the chat.
That's a great idea. So we do have a few questions, but let's give everyone a moment to please enter your question in the chat or using the Q&A function. And while you do that, I would like to highlight a special offer we are providing to attendees of this webinar. We are offering you the ecosystem bundle, which will provide access to Datawiz BI and Plano Hero. So should you choose to implement Datawiz BI to find your retail margin leaks, we would fully fund your shelf setup. This means no cost implementation and 3 months of free access to the Plano Hero service. We are also offering an exclusive white paper. So this will be sent to you after the call, combining ABC and XYZ analysis in retail. So we do have a question here, Alina. This is from Amanda K. So thank you, Amanda K. We already have a loyalty program. Is it easy to connect it to your analytics tool?
Actually, yes, because all the data that we have involved into like BI instrument, we take from any kind of a source that you have. It can be ERP system or it can be something specific on the loyalty program. And as we do integrate the system with this like solution, we do it through the intermediate database. So it's not like direct way. But yes, for sure, we can integrate with any kind of the software that you are working with, because we have the technical documentation that you can get acquainted that how should be populated this intermediate database. So I think yes, definitely.
Great. Thank you so much. And I see we do have another question. So we run on a mix of legacy POS systems and modern ERPs, excuse me. What does the typical onboarding and data integration timeline look like for a retail chain with 50 plus stores? And this is from Lucas.
Thank you, Lucas. It's a very good question, because from our side, I like to answer this question like it depends on the motivation of your IT department. But without jokes, the last numbers that we have, it's like 1-2 months, so 4-8 weeks to make everything work correctly. Because as I mentioned earlier, we do not make it from with the API, so it's not like direct integration. But you have to like populate the intermediate database with your data, and then we take everything to the platform. So it's not very complicated way. During this process, we definitely provide you with a support, technical one, and then with the customer support, we do provide trainings on our service. So as a rule, everything goes smoothly if your IT department very motivated.
Thank you so much. I believe that's all the questions we have for the moment. So thank you, Lucas and Amanda. I'm so sorry. We have another one that just came in. So this is for Vitaly. Vitaly, you have highlighted the data monetization as an opportunity for the growth. Could you share briefly what retailers are doing in data monetization and what are the outcomes?
Yeah, sure. Appreciate again. Yes, thank you for the question. So generally, again, as I said, so working in above 100 markets, we as organization again faced again with the new trends what came again for the long time. All the retailers, and Canada is not an exception. Retailers are already providing some information for the suppliers. It can be limited information, some extraction, some Excel even files like monthly sales, stock data, whatever. But still, almost everyone, especially big, already are doing for the long time. But yeah, new normal came, and it's not enough. Like retailers wanted to earn more, so versus again some offline again files, and yeah, to allow suppliers really to grow. Yeah, to allow them again to predict also out of stocks, to see unsellable products. What Olena demonstrated again in Datawiz solution, but retailers can have some own again this data, but still platforms allowing again to enhance those insights, transform data into insights, and improve availability rate, give them on a daily basis, not on a monthly or weekly, some piece of data, but useful insights to predict out of stocks, to see what new products are not again performing, again what promo mechanics are not working, to allow them again to grow using loyalty system. You had a question again to Elena related to the loyalty. So retailers now are sharing even loyalty insights with the brands, not personal data, but general information, allowing them to know how many customers are buying something, their brands, how many again stopped buying their brand. I mean client churn. Because if I'm brand and I know that there are some thousands of shoppers who stopped buying me, I can come to retailer and do a targeted offer to win back so those shoppers. From other side, I can have also some real opportunity for the growth, identifying what customers are buying this category, but not buying my brand. There are only some several examples what I'm sharing. But generally, what retailers are doing is they switched from the data approach into insights using platforms, giving to suppliers set report dashboards, capability to create own dashboards, especially if it's connected with AI. It's also allowing again suppliers to get more insights through AI, and the outcomes are next one. From one side, retailers are earning more, and imagine that depending on country, retailers are earning up to 2 to 5% as a payment from suppliers for this platform from total monthly turnover. In pharmacy, it's even 5, okay? But suppliers are getting daily insights, and they can use this really to grow, to perform, to improve availability rate, to grow the turns, to have again better product, again movements, and again to win more customers, and again to avoid this customers erosion. Because especially for candidates, remember, 49% from total sales are coming through the promotions. And shoppers, as one of the strategy, is remember top three strategy, it's to buy any product, no loyalty. So me as brand, if I'm interested to win, I should be connected with those platforms.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And thank you, Lucas, for that question. And Lucas writes, thank you. He appreciates your answer. So thank you, Vitali. Excellent. So I don't see any other questions in the chat right now. I'll just allow a minute for a few more to roll in. So let's see. If you have a question, please feel free to enter it in the chat or using Q&A. Oh, great. So Amanda K asks, do you have AI?
I
Yeah,
think both of us we
I
have here,
mentioned
Elena.
mentioning all the AI during the presentation. It's a very good question. Yeah, definitely. We have our own like AI agent built in our services. The name is Visora from the Wizard. And it works really good by communicating with you, like given answers to your questions, given recommendations, comparing any like numbers, metrics, for example. So yeah, and the main interesting thing that this agent works only with your data, so it's not like external, agent. It works only with your data. So every time you are asking about something or would like to have recommendation, so it means that it takes information from your own data. So yeah, we do have AI built in our solutions.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you, Amanda, for the question. So I'm going to allow a few more seconds for questions to come in. And while I do that, Elena and Vitali, I just want to thank you so much for your time and your information that you shared with us today. Both of your segments were so interesting. So I'm sure you left our attendees with a lot to think about after this program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, I would like to thank you all for the great questions today. We truly appreciate the engagement and discussion. If you didn't get your question, or if you'd like to explore a specific use case in more detail, we'd happy to continue the conversation individually after the webinar. And as a thank you for joining today's webinar, we'd like to offer also two exclusive benefits. So I will repeat about them. First, if you decide to implement Datawiz BI, we will include Planner Hero onboarding and 3 months of free Planner Hero access at no additional cost. Second, you'll receive your practical white paper on combining ABC and XYZ analysis for smarter assortment decisions. You can simply scan the QR code or speak with us after the session if you'd like to learn more and schedule the personalized discussion. So, yeah.
Oh, that's
Would like to
excellent. Oh,
thank you
sorry,
from my
Vitali.
side. Thank you so much for the invitation. We are working again like in Canada with plenty of retailers. We are proud to work again like with all of you, and we are working also with Datawiz. It's our trusted partner for more than 10 years. We are working across the world with this company. We are absolutely confident with the quality and level of engagement, level of service this company can provide again like to retailers. And I would like again like to finish with one like important message Zig Ziglar said. Yeah, like you shouldn't be great to start, but you should to start to be great. So every change is starting from the action. So thank you for your time, for the attention. We would like you to inspire today again, discover new opportunities, because even when more obstacles are coming, it's always about finding some opportunities for the growth, not because but probably in our new normal in this world, despite everything. Thank you so much.
What a great word to end on. Thank you. Thank you so much. So with that, I want to thank our attendees for your time and our speakers for their time. We are ending a little bit ahead of 2 p.m. So we are going to stay on the call. If you have any questions that you would like to ask Olena or Vitali directly, please feel free to stay on the call and we can answer those questions here. You can also feel free to schedule a one-on-one conversation with Elena by emailing her directly or contacting her via WhatsApp, and I will add her contact information into the chat. Thank you all for your time, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.
So we are waiting.
Yeah, I see we just have Ira and VJ on the call still. So if either of you would like to ask a question or come off mute, please write in the chat and I can put you on off mute so you can ask your question directly. Okay, well then I think it's safe for us to end the webinar.
Yeah, I also would like to close up with a final thought. So the retailers that win in 2026 won't be the ones collecting the most data. So the challenge is seeing the opportunities And thank you for joining us today and have a great day.